Which one is the one that I'm doing right now? Okay, that one is working. Why the fuck are there two streams? Close that. All right. Now I just need to share the link on IG. All right. Hi, Alexander. Hi, MK. Just like setting up the links so everyone can join. Can you guys hear me? Is that working? Okay, cool. Yeah, the sound is coming. I just like froze the audio here. Okay. Where's my camera? Wonderful. There I am. Oh, nice. We got a lot of people here. Get my green tea ready. Yeah, so today I'm just gonna basically do what I do most of the time and like work on new drums. And you can watch me do that. And like if you have any questions, you can go ahead and just put them in the chat. I'll have a look in the chat here and then. Let me actually pull that up on a second thing here. That's the one. Because I don't want to switch from Ableton all the time. Do you use Kick 2 for drum making? No, I use, well, I can show you, but I use 0 mostly for kicks. There's Kick 3, which looks pretty cool, but like for me, it's always easier to do it in Serum. I feel like Kick 2 is just too complicated for me. Yeah, and so what I'm gonna do today is I wanna like replicate the drums from Dancing in the Flames. I'm sure you've heard this one. Yeah, I think that the drums are pretty cool. I haven't done too much like preparation here other than just splitting them into stems. And this is based off the instrumental. And I think there's one section where the drums are like quite isolated, so we can probably get rid of most of the other stuff. Yeah, like this section here, for example. So that's probably one of what we were gonna use as a reference. So we can probably get rid of all that here. That's actually not the beginning. Oh, I have this shifted. What's going on here? Yeah, so the bar starts here. So we'll pull all of that back and realign it. Yeah, because here there's more elements in there, so we're like not gonna be using any of that probably. And I'm using vocal strip to create these stems. And that's pretty good. I mean, you can hear there's not too much going on here. So the drums are pretty clean in that way. There's no DAW from the audio. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. No audio from... Why is it not... Let me just play it back. That's pretty interesting. So did I... Let me see. I'm gonna play that back now. It should work now. Let's see if that works. I'm pretty sure it should work. I tested it. Still no sound. What do you mean? What the fuck? Okay, there's now sound. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had to like... I think it's the Ableton capture thing here. Kind of annoying. Oh, I see. I can still pull it over there and do that. And let's like make that a little bit like this. Looks good. Cool. Okay, so I've been just explaining stuff here and you didn't hear any of that. But what I've been telling here is basically that that's the instrumental, and I found a section where there's not too many elements, because if we go like later on in the song, there's much more going on. And here's just the bass. So I'm just isolating that and I'm trying to replicate the sounds. Hope you can do more of these streams. Can't. Yeah, dude, you can like rewatch it. Like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna put it up for rewatch. And if I enjoy doing these, I might do more of these. Okay, but let's find out. I kind of want to start with the snare here first. Because it sounds like an 808 snare. And it has like these. I think it's a Max Martin and Ilya production. Like that's very common in pop, but you also see it in a lot of Max Martin songs. You always have like variations on the drum hits. So one hit will be like this, and the other one will be like it has like a reverb or some additional layer on top of that. And I'm just gonna like cut that thing out. Cool. It sounds really over-processed, the snare. Maybe we can actually, let's compare the other ones. Like this one has too much. Oh, there's a cowbell here. Don't want to have that. I feel like that's the best example. I think this is actually... It sounds a little bit more like an 808 than this one. But it does have the cowbell in here. Okay, so we'll take these two here as our reference then. And then we can have a look at that. Okay, so the way I do this is I'm gonna do all of this with Serum because I know it's possible to do with Serum and it's like the most precise way to do that. So now we're gonna call this 808 snare V1. I want to color that differently. Let's give it a yellow. There we go. Okay. I've been playing around with some new plugins as well that I want to show later. And obviously it's Black Friday, so I usually make like a list with like plugins over the year. And then I see if I still need them, and then on Black Friday I get them. Okay, anyway. So let's first see what's going on with the snare here. So we have the fundamental here. Okay, so this could be another snare on top of it. It sounds a little bit like a trap snare on top of it. And then we have a lot of harmonics and a bunch of noise. Okay. How does it look here? It's interesting. So I'm not sure if this is like, if there's another snare on top of it and this is the fundamental of the snare. I do have a trap snare. I just want to see how that looks like for reference. Where is it? I think it's in the drum loops, snares, snare loops. Yeah, this one. How does that look like? Is that like a... Because I feel like that's a lot higher pitched than most snares. Like how high is that? Oh yeah, so I think we found already some pretty interesting insights. So it seems to be like an... Yeah, there's like a trap snare on top of it. I can't remember how I made these. I don't think it was that difficult. I think it was just like sine wave, white noise, and then I had to like boost this frequency and then distort it. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky because it's a layered snare. But I still feel like we can do it. The difficult thing now is by the way, if you like don't understand something I do here, like just drop it in the chat. Okay, so this snare doesn't have too many harmonics. That means, and they're also above, so that technically means, if we go back here, that it's probably these harmonics that are coming from the trap snare. Oof, this is a hard one. Okay, I think we're gonna start by replicating the body of the sound. Yeah, let's do that, and let's switch to transient mode. And let's make this quicker. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of like pitch movement going on. How can you hear in this case if it's a layered sample? Yeah, great question. I can show you. So usually when you look at a snare, wait, let's get rid of that. I can't freeze this because I don't have, maybe I do have span. I never use span because I'm just more used to using Pro R. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so usually with a snare you have like a fundamental and you have some noise and you have some harmonics, but the harmonics usually are not that loud. Like this is very unusual. You usually don't see that in a snare. And that made me think that there might be something else layered in, because like usually when I recreate snares I don't see stuff like that. So that's kind of unusual, and just from knowing how trap snares sound, I feel like that sounded a little bit similar to a trap snare or something in the sound. And so I just pulled this trap snare up and realized they're actually really high in pitch. So I'm pretty certain this one is like probably an 808 layer with a trap snare. Yeah. That's how I see it. You can't see the plugin. Okay, I'll have to like stop this stupid thing then. I have like a screen capture that captures just the software, but it seems like it doesn't work. Okay, let's pull up span again. I'll do it again. Okay, so what you see here is the fundamental, and the snare usually has a fundamental and then the white noise up here, which is like emulating the snare wires, like the bright sound of it. And these harmonics are usually quite even, and it's very unusual that you have a harmonic that peaks out that much here. And yeah, as I mentioned, I like recognized just that there's something similar about a trap snare in there. And I realized that trap snares are really high pitched. If you look at like, if you look at this trap snare here, I showed this before. It's actually going through this as well. No, it's not going through this. It's going into the EQ anyway. You can see this is way higher. Like the fundamental is here, and the trap snare smashes here. It's just like, it's just really odd to have a harmonic that's loud up there in a snare. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, it works. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. It should like capture. I remember having this problem with FL Studio as well. Just doesn't capture all of the windows either way. So there's a lot of what you can see with just like the visual tools that I'm going to use. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sidechain my snare into the original. I actually want to do it the other way around. We want to sidechain the original into our other one and sidechain that as well. And so now drums, we can see here. So this is my sine wave here, and this is the snare. So I have like a visual representation of that, and the same happens here. So I just have to like basically just find the right note for that. And of course you can do that with your ear, but it's like a matter of using both tools together. It's interesting. It seems like it's too high and it's a little bit too low. It's possible it's like slightly detuned. Not sure why. And if I don't know if it's detuned, I use Vision for X and put that on harmonics. And then I can see, actually, I can see it a little bit more precise. Where's the snare? So you can see, it seems like the snare is slightly higher, which is quite interesting. I feel like this is the middle of the snare, whereas this is the little middle. It might not be that important. I feel like we can ignore that. Okay, very important. Minimization, turn that to off. And then we can remove. Okay, now we're doing some like crazy shit here. So now we're gonna post FX. Yeah, right. So now we're gonna filter the snare because I want to see the body of the snare. What's going on in the chat? Is there a reason you moved over to Ableton? Yeah, there's like a lot of reasons why I moved over to Ableton. I'm not missing FL Studio at all, to be honest. I feel like just for like sound design and like, because I do a lot of very technical things and I just don't find FL Studio very useful for that. In particular, like you can't really save FX with like presets together, and you like Ableton, it's so easy to do like complex routing and FX chains. Yeah, so of course there's always advantages and disadvantages to certain DAWs, but like overall I'm like super happy to have moved over here. It's just, I feel like for me it's way more workflow friendly than FL Studio has ever been. Yeah. Now we wanna high cut that very strictly. And if you look at the snare in Serum, so now I can see how the waveform of the body looks like. And that's clearly too long. And we can also phase align it. So there seems to be like a little bit of pitch bending going on, but almost nothing. Interesting. needs to be more steep. Okay, so now, quite interesting, the attack is, there's something with the attack going on. Because if I, so obviously that's the low frequencies. When does the attack come back? It comes back around here. You can see there's like a bend here. So it looks like the body isn't starting right away. But it might also be a pitch envelope. Oh, and of course, we can't phase align it properly because we don't see what's going on. We need a linear phase EQ here. Let's see if it works with that. Yeah, now we have the actual phase. Okay. Can we move that? Cool. Yeah, there's something, I think there's a pitch envelope there. Which is interesting because I think I did recreate an 808 some time ago. Let me see if I can pull up the project. Audio scientist. Yeah, pretty much. What about Logic? Like all DAWs are pretty amazing, you know? It's just like a matter of like, does it work for you? Like I think they're all pretty cool and all have their strengths. But just for the work I mostly do, I find Ableton to be the go-to thing. Let me jump into a different project here. I think the 808 was in 7 Rings, Ariana Grande, yes. Let's see. Need to switch to another project file here. Might take a second. Like the whole DAW thing is like pretty simple if you really think about it. It's just like, does it work for you or not? And like, if it's not working for you, then like find out why. Like for me, it was like not even with the technical stuff, like with producing, you know, I can like enable and I can make all these amazing presets here. Let me show you, turn that off here. I can make all these, like I have like I started doing this quite a while ago, but like I have like presets for pretty much everything that includes like the synth I'm using and then also the processing, and I also have like a lot of like for FX chains, and you know, you can like do really wild stuff here, like with parallel processing and gated reverbs and sidechain reverbs and all of that. It's just like really intuitive to do it here down here in the workflow thing. Okay, so here's the snare. Why is that? That's like loud as fuck. Jesus. So this is a session where I recreated the drums from 7 Rings. Is that the right one? I got it. I want it. Yeah, and so this is the drum and bass snare. So where is the 808? There's the 808, right? Yeah, okay. So how did I do that? Actually, So here, this is one of the cool things about Ableton. I think I can, no, actually I can't get rid of that. I'm just gonna like put this all into one rack now. And I'm gonna put this to my drum presets here. And I can just like drag it in here. Call that 808 snare serum. And I have like my 808 snare here. I actually just wanted to see how I made this one. Yeah, this one does have a pitch envelope, right? No, this is the, where is it? There's the body. Yeah, it's like a little pitch thing here. We might just use that as a starting point for the other one. And then I have like a noise here. Very sharp sounding. And there's another texture thing. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to the other one. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't make FX Chains preset in FL Studio. It's just like you can't combine them with the presets, you know, like with the synth. It's just a workflow thing. Because yeah, like you in FL Studio you would have to save 2 presets. Dennis is asking about splitting vocals. You have to play around with them. Like for when I recreate sounds, I always use audio strip. Like I've just feel like that's, for me it has been the best one. But I haven't done a shootout in quite a while of these plugins, so I don't really know if there are better ones out there. There might be better ones out there that have less artifacts. You know, it really depends on the song, because AI stem splitting is just, it's just very limited in the way that it depends on how busy the song is, and the more busy the song is, the more artifacts you basically gonna have in the vocal if you split it. And obviously there's like a difference between the software you use. Some have more and some have less artifacts. But like, that's always what I see. Like with this one here, like the drums were pretty good. There's not too much going on, and I found it instrumental. So I get a good reference of the drums here. But obviously you can hear it. Like the stuff still has artifacts in there. So it's limited just by the way you can use it. And audio strip, I think you can actually use it for free for a couple of times. I use it quite a lot, so I have like the paid version because it's faster. Let's use that as a reference. It sounds like a really squashed 808. See if we can we see how that looks like? Give me this one. Remove that. Wait. That's pretty interesting. What's going on here? Really? Oh wow. So I was wrong. I was very wrong about this. Oh, this is so interesting. So it's not layered. The snare is not layered. The 808 does have a very high harmonic up here. Let's find it like an 808 snare sample. Like a better one. That's so interesting. Is it really not layered? Let's see. But this is a weird one. This one has like a... The harmonic is louder than the fundamental. This is not like an 808. Where's the classic 808 pack? There's the BD25. Yeah, that's the classic 808 pack. Show in places. So I want a snare from that one. SNSD. Yeah, so that's a good reference. That's actually very clean. Recorded 808. So it looks like if we add the sidechain in here, where's my sidechain? This is the one on the master. Oh, there we go. I need to do this one. But you can see the second harmonic is suppressed a lot. Okay, so that's good news. That means it's not layered. Just taking us 30 minutes to figure out it's not layered. But that's how it goes. Okay, then we can maybe just take this as a reference point. Okay, let's get rid of all the crap we don't need here. So interesting. You wanna sidechain that. And I think we have to redo the whole processing here. Is there like a lag? Oh, there's some, is there soothe on there? Yeah, there's soothe on there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so the first thing, which is obvious, is we need to get rid of the second harmonic. Or we need to make it lower. Oh, then there's also... Okay. This one looks good. We just need to be a little bit louder. It seems also... So that's the pitch. And then the other one is controlled by which envelope? What is the envelope? That's the envelope for this one. Okay, we need to make that quieter. Why don't you move? Why don't you do more live streams? What I'm doing now, and maybe more in the future. Let's go back here. Okay. No. So the problem here now is, where's that coming from? There's like harmonics in here. Okay, why is there harmonics? Is it because of the phase? There's like another harmonic in here. Maybe it's because of the phase. No, it's not because of the phase. Huh. So there's a lot of other crap going on. I feel like it's still layered because of all the harmonics that are in there. we can actually go a level deeper than that, but okay, so this is our body and we don't, oh, there's an F. Oh, that's why the harmonics. That's the harmonics, right? Right. Okay, so these are the harmonics. They're coming from the FM modulation. I don't think we want to use them. So let's like not use them. Then let's see how long they are. We need transient mode. Let's see how long they are in the original. Okay, the upper one is a little bit too long. But we're not too far off. Yeah, the upper one needs to be a little bit shorter. This is this envelope. So let's keep that open. And shorten this envelope a little bit. Oh, that's the pitch. What was it? 80. This is the one. Yeah, I want this to be shorter. I mean, this cuts off very strictly here, but I think that's something we can ignore for now at least. And then the next thing is like getting in the upper harmonics. Yeah, it can be a little bit shorter. Like this. Maybe like this. Cool. Okay, harmonic. Done. Next one. I think we need a new serum instance for that, but we need to do the harmonics. Let's actually let's, what is the envelope here? No, I feel like we can like initialize the preset. By the way, the reason why I'm spending so much time like getting this all together, like with all the harmonics and like very detailed, just having like these sine waves which don't sound like snares at all right now, is it's a little bit like when you're recording something, like the better it is what you're recording, the better the processing and all of that is gonna be. So it has like a leveraged effect of how the sound is gonna sound in the end, basically. Like if you like ignore like very important stuff in the beginning, like the sound in the end is just gonna sound very crappy. So it's very important to get the fundamental right, and it's the same in like making songs. So that's why I'm so finicky about this stuff, and I also really enjoy it. Snare still sine wave, or could you have a saw or something else? I mean, you can have a saw, but usually not for snares. It just like what is like, you can use visual tools and just see what the snare is using, and the sine wave is just like the most fundamental sound. And like everything I see in here, like these, what I see in the sound, like all these harmonics here, if you have a saw wave, they're gonna go all the way to the right. Like you're gonna have a lot of frequencies that you don't want to have in there. So I'm always starting with the fundamental, then I'm building the harmonics on top, and then the noise. So I'm basically working my way from left to right over there. And step by step I recreate the sound this way. So here we have the fundamental, now we're adding the harmonics. And obviously that's way too loud. Randomization to 0. So now I'm doing some wizard trick here, which I learned recently. And this one, we're gonna turn off the pitch tracking, go down a little bit here. And now we're like drawing harmonics. So let's go back here. Yeah, you can't hear shit. Let's reset that. That's too high. That's too low. Maybe let's go 1 octave higher. Okay. So I think we have to like protect our sanity and just mute that. How are we gonna do that? I want to mute the output. So this is like a pretty wild process, but I'm basically just letting this on loop, and then I look for the harmonics which are in there. And I feel like this might be even still too high. You're gonna see what I'm doing here in a second. It doesn't make any sense right now. Okay, so I know there's one harmonic in here, so I'll need to find that. But maybe it's a little bit too finicky. We need to go an octave up still. Do that. I don't know if you can catch it then. So where's the harmonic? Not here. Yeah, so there's one here. It's somewhere around here. I don't know exactly where it is, but I feel like it's somewhere around here. Like you can see there's something happening in here. Okay, so there's another harmonic further up the thing, but like way lower. I'm basically just like redrawing what I see on the frequency spectrum. And the amplitude is way too long. And I'm like muting the audio because you go crazy if you hear this all the time. Like there's no way you're gonna enjoy this, hearing that. Okay, so it has to be a little bit louder than that one. Okay, let's like match that with the other one. It's not right with the volume here. I think we have to pull this down a little bit. Let's get a utility in here. And match the volume. Cool, so now this one is matched. It looks like the upper harmonic is now not matched anymore. It's a little bit quicker. Okay, so these are now... Where are my harmonics? What the fuck? It just disappeared. Why? There we go. No, do 0. Like, what did I add before? 3x zoom. That was enough, yeah. It's too much. Okay, and this one was here. No, it was down here. The problem is the harmonics are so short that you like almost can't see them. Like it might be somewhere around here. Let's have a look at the Vision 4X. We want to go in harmonic mode. Cool. There's like some kind of... Why is there so much delay? There's one plugin here that causes a lot of delay. What is that? It's not on here. Is there something on the master? Okay, seems like we have to deal with it either way. So you can see like this is the original, this is my recreation, so you can see the harmonics are happening in here. This one seems like it's not 100% right. Hmm. Let's drink my tea. God, this is so blurry. Hey Xin, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. We're deep in the roots of recreating a snare here. There's something with this amplitude thing here. God, I had this happening before. I can't remember why it happens, but like I have to redraw the harmonics again. Why is that happening? Okay, we'll do it a different way. I'm gonna turn on the pitch tracking again because this kind of fucking breaks it all the time. Okay, so that's too... Still too much. That may work. Stop. There we go. Because these harmonics sound super weird, but when they are really short, they basically make most of the punch. Actually, we can like make this a lot louder. Do it like this. We don't have to be so finicky about it. Turn that off again. This one, maybe this one. No, it's too close. This one. I think that's too close over here. Sounds like it's very similar. And there's one right here. I'm not doing like every little harmonic, but I'm trying to get most of them. So it's somewhere between here. Maybe here? No. It's like more like here. I bet this is not what you expected when you joined the stream. Okay. No, these need to be a little bit louder. Nope. Okay, let's pull them all up. So now this is all right, and these two are a little bit too loud. Okay, we have to bring them back. Okay. I feel like that's something we can work with. It might not even be the approach we're gonna end up using. You can hear this. This sounds like weird as fuck. It's like, Nathan, what the fuck are you doing here? But trust me, if you change the envelope of that, and we'll match that with the original. So because you can see in the original, it's so squashed. This is actually very difficult to see. Maybe it's easier to see here. Yeah, in the transients you can see the movement better. Okay, so you can see these harmonics are all just like super fast, and mine are just too long. So it's like pretty simple what you do there. It's like just this. It's like ridiculously quiet, but that's what it is. Yeah, I got thanks. Takes a huge time to recreate a sample. Yeah, dude. Like some shit is like just crazy. I have like snares where I spend an entire week recreating them. Yeah, it's a very, very technical process. But there's like so much you learn in there by like really going deep in there. Yeah, so now we got like a harmonic thing on. And the other way to do harmonics is with distortion. So basically, instead of drawing this shit, you can... But the thing is, it's not as precise, but you can see if I just... Let's mute this one. We just have the fundamental on the frequency spectrum. Let's get rid of that. So here's my... Let's turn off the sidechain. Actually, it's just confusing. If I add distortion to that, you can see all these you can see all these harmonics are coming up. And there's different types of distortion. You see, like this does this weird shit here. Very uneven. It's like not equally spread. This one has movement. Yeah, so there's all sorts of distortion that you can use to create harmonics, but rarely you ever get to recreate the harmonics of a sound, at least when it comes to drums with the distortion. I haven't just found that very useful. Like, we can just A-B it back and forth. You can see like the original looks like this. Let's look at some of the distortions, how they, if they add if they add any harmonics that would be suitable. Like this one is like, oh, this is rectifying. No, let's go back from the start. So tube obviously doesn't do it. Like none of the harmonics match here. Then we have soft clip. Soft clip needs more input gain. I don't want to drive this thing up now. But it's like still the same. Not getting the harmonics right. The same with the hard clip. This one is a little bit more interesting, but it's still like, it has super weird harmonics. And then you can also do like wave shaping here. Yeah, but it's just, they're so uneven that like no distortion can reproduce these harmonics. So it's just this little clicky thing here we got. What happened to my... They used to be longer, what the fuck? Oh, there's another one. Now it should work. Now another thing, and that also goes back, let me just check. Do you recreate 808 bass too? Yeah, we can like look at it as well. It's all like the tools I use are always the same. It's just like a lot of analysis. What was I gonna say? So I do have the harmonics here now. Right, the phaser line. I learned this from Harry from Mix Ready. So Harry is like, probably not many people know him, but he's been working on the Oliver sample packs together with Oliver, and he has like quite a big contribution. Like every sample you see in the Oliver packs that has like Mix Ready in the name is made by Harry. And Harry does all his drums in Serum. He's like really fucking good with it. And let's just mute that for the sake of sanity. How can I... Wait. I don't need any of this. I just need this, and I don't want it to be here. Audio. There we go. So I can change the phase of this whole thing here. And you can see the waveform starts moving. This is very important if you layer stuff, because if you, like, phase is basically, if the waveform is interrupted in a weird way, the sound can lose a lot of the punch it had. With this one, it's not that obvious because it's just an harmonic, but with like an attack sound, or if you layer multiple kicks on top of each other, it's quite important to have a look at that. So what I would usually do is I would try to find something that's a little bit more even, but it also makes sense just listening to it. Yeah, it seems like it doesn't affect it like audibly, or you're not gonna hear that much difference. I'm just gonna keep it like this. I think that's fine. Like if I want to make crazy snares, I would also like have a transit now, like an attack sound. Like if I want them to be a little bit more advanced. But I don't think this snare actually needs it. So for this one, we're now gonna try to replicate the white noise part, which is like the snare wires. And for that, so I always try to isolate the sound first if I can. And now in this example here, I will, actually we can do this with Shaperbox. Volume, is that what I want? I think so. So I want to see how the sound... Okay, interesting. Oh, that's, I know why it is. It has... The low cut is not very good in the Shaperbox thing, so I need to brick wall it here. I want to see how the envelope, how like the waveform looks like if I just cut out all the low frequencies. Okay, this is not what I expected, to be honest. Okay, so some snares, they don't start right in the beginning for the high frequency, so they have like an attack sound. This is a very unusual shape, or at least unusual for most snares that I did. Okay. So let's move these plugins over here. Noise. Can mute that layer. So the first thing, okay, let's see, how is the noise controlled? The noise is controlled by the amp envelope, which is fine. That's how we want to do it. There's some stuff going on here. Let's remove, there's chorus on here, interesting. Let's remove that. Sounds so much more boring. Okay, we need to take off the EQ again so I can see what's actually going on here. And then I also want to have the envelope, but not this one. I just want to have the oscilloscope and see how long the noise sound actually is. It's a cool thing with these tools, like you can measure all this stuff. Why is it not sidechained in there? Oh no, it's not. Drums, there we go. Where's my sidechain? Drums. Like, why is it not? Drums, post FX. Works. What's the problem? Yeah, so what I want to have. I'm so confused. What the fuck is going on here? What are you showing me here? That's not what I'm... Is this a Shaperbox I'm seeing right now? No, it's not. Oh, it's too quiet. That's why. There we go. Okay, so this is very short and I want to see my sidechain. There we go. So obviously it's way too quiet, but it's also way too short. So now we're gonna adjust the envelope. And that might be too much white noise because there might be another sound that like gives it this like fade out thing, but why is the keyboard not reacting? What the hell is going on with my MIDI keyboard? Not reacting. Okay, so it needs to be longer. That's the issue. Yeah, there we go. Nice. It's kind of what we want to have. And obviously, this is like super starting to sound like a snare now, huh? After over an hour. I feel like that's just too long. Why is my MIDI keyboard not working? I don't get it. Like, is it working on other things? Oh, oh, I have to set it to auto, that's why. Okay, cool. So we got an approximate length of the shape. Now we go back to match the frequency spectrum again. Just want to have like a quick look here. Dun, dun. If the snare you're trying to recreate has distortion on it, how do you visually distinguish the harmonic frequencies of the snare from those of the distortion? Like distortion, you can't really see it, to be honest. Like it's like in that case, you can't really see how distorted or saturated the sound is. Just very difficult to see. Like the snare obviously wasn't made by drawing in harmonics. So it's just an approach on how to recreate them. You can't really, I mean, the way to distinguish would be just going through the distortions and see if any of the harmonics of the distortions match the sound you're trying to recreate. And there's also a lot you can see in the waveform. Like if a waveform is really